Hey, how's it going? Welcome to a much belated members only video. Sorry that it's taken a while. If you follow the channel, you know that I've been busy and also that OBS has been a true nightmare for me recently. I'm testing a new recording software called ScreenFlow, which my good buddy Leandro Facchinetti was kind enough to lend me his license to, as he's no longer using it. So let's see how this works out. Today we got a question by our new member Lauro Ferrarini. I hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. And Laura says, "Hi, I'm new here. In the piano roll editor, I need to have the track colors in the MIDI notes in the same way as we see them in Color Picker and not darkened by default. Do you think it is possible?" I think so. Let's explore this together a little bit and hopefully we'll succeed. So just a quick primer. By default, your MIDI notes are colored by velocity. So as you can see, notes with a higher velocity like 108 here are kind of orange. And if I bring this up to 127, it'll be red. And then lower velocity notes are kind of a shade of green. And I can bring this down as well. And then it'll be kind of like a blue. So that's one way of doing it. The next way to doing it is by channel, which is useful in a context, for example, like this, where I have on my first violin track a few different violin setups. So one of them is the key switch for kind of long legato notes. The second channel is for staccato notes, and the third channel is for pizzicato. So if I have all of these different kind of types of notation in my track, then that's what I would use. And as we can see here, we have notes that are this color and they go to channel 3. So these are my pizzicato passages. And down here I can choose notes that go to channel 2, which are just a handful of notes, and then channel 1, which is most of the notes. So that's useful in that context if you are on the same track sending MIDI to different channels and you can color code them that way. And if you filter by these channels, you'll only see those, or if you turn the filter off, you will see all of them and you will see different colors. So this one I use quite a lot as well. Next one is pitch, which just colors them by pitch. I find this quite useless as, well, we already can see the pitch by their kind of vertical position. So I don't really use this type too much. Next one is source, which you need to import a color map for these to work. And you can do that by going to MIDI editor and using a default note color map, which I've never played with this, so I don't exactly know how that works. If you do, please let me know. But I don't really use this. This is useful if you need, for example, to set a color, a custom kind of source color map. So you want everything in your first octave to be yellow and everything in your third octave to be blue, something like that. That's when you make a color map, but I honestly don't know how that works and I don't use it. And the next one is track. The coloring when it comes to track kind of changes. So you are completely right. So if we look at these celli, we can see that these are darkened a little bit, as you have already mentioned, and their borders are actually the color that the celli says. So I found some options here, but as far as I can tell, they don't actually do anything. So if you right click kind of on the gray area around your MIDI editor and go to view and you go color notes by, you see all the same options here. And then it says when coloring by track or media item, use theme color for selected note body. So I thought, there we go. Like if I select this and then I select a bunch of notes, that will get the job done. But that actually did not get the job done at all. Or if I do for unselected note body, it's the same deal. So because it said theme color, I thought to go and look in the theme development /tweaker action. And I found some notes here like MIDI editor notes selected and MIDI editor notes unselected. And as you can see, the reason they're black and red is because I was setting these to an obvious color to see if they make any noticeable change, but they do not. If I set these to say white, now this is what it looks like. And if I come to view and if I go back here and I turn these two options off, we can see that it's still kind of this slightly darkened color. Clearly we don't want to use the theme color unless the theme would allow us to somehow maybe use like a transparent color, but as far as I know, you can't do that. So with the selected and unselected notes by default, I think the unselected notes are kind of a dark shade of black and these are a slightly kind of darker shade of white. But that doesn't seem to be doing anything that we want to do. So that's kind of lame. So yeah, I don't know if this is possible. And I had a look here and I didn't really see anything that would be kind of relevant to what we want to do. So yeah, pretty lame that this happens by default. I don't know if there's a way to change this. The only thing I found out is, yeah, if these are off, this color around the borders of a note is kind of exactly the color we see here, but otherwise this kind of different coloring, I didn't see a way of turning that off. So yeah, kind of a disappointing tutorial after a while. Yeah, just to explore the rest of the options, the media item follows the media item color. So right now we're seeing my violas. So if I go to my viola track and maybe change the color of this item and then open the MIDI note editor, if it's by track, it just inherits the track color. And when it's media item, it looks like this. And there could be an extra option, I guess, to like have these just be the exact same color as they are, but I didn't see one. And just for the sake of completion, the last one is voice. This one will only be important if you are in the notation editor. So let me go to my piano here and let's open this in the notation editor. And one thing I can do is like select all these notes here, and I can right click on them and go to voice and use the high voice. Maybe let's go to these notes and I can right click and set them to the low voice. So now if I select all these notes, we can see that we have some middle voice, some high voice, and some low voices. And you only have 3 voices. So I would have preferred it if there were 4 voices like there are in most other notation software. And then those voice colors are reflected here as well. So again, the voice is not something that I use often enough to have explored it. You can change the selected and unselected notes in your theme tweaker if that kind of helps a little bit. I guess a few feature requests kind of come to mind that could help this. One is just to give us that option maybe down here in color notes by, just don't darken them. That could be a feature request. And the other feature request would be in the theme tweaker, if you could set these colors to like an alpha. So to basically not having any color. As far as I know, that is also not possible, which puts us in this awkward position. So when I started shooting this video, I thought for sure this will help. It didn't. Anyway, that's about it for today. Please let me know as my members if you have any questions, if you have any kind of specific type of content in mind for me to do members only videos. I thought to do live streams, but maybe we don't have enough members for that yet. Hopefully we will. So yeah, so far I've just been kind of covering the questions that are coming my way, but yeah, feel free to add more questions. Sorry again that I couldn't be of too much help, but at least I guess we have some definitive proofs that this is not possible. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.